Hey guys, and welcome back. So, let's start off this episode by introducing our gait system, giving us the possibility of switching between walking and running. I'm going to add a new folder to our content folder, and I'll call this enums. I'm going to right click in this folder and create a new blueprint enumeration. I'll call this e_character gait. Now this character gait enum and the gait function would be used for both the player and the AI, updating their speed modes. So we will be adding this function within the master class. I'll open up this e_character gait now, and I'll add 3 new elements. The first one is going to be a null value, so I'll name this none. The second one will be our walking speed, and the other would be our running speed. So our gaits are none, which will be idle, walk and run. Back in character blueprint folder, master character, we can add this variable. So I'll call this character gait. Then for the type will be e_character gait. I can close this, and I'll also close my construction script. I will delete all of these nodes, and I'll rename this to be current character gait. Great. We can use one more actually, so let's duplicate this, and this would be our past character gait. Awesome. Let's create a function to set this value now. And this will be called setNewGait. It will take an input of type e_character gait, and I'll rename the input to be called newGait. The first thing we want to check is if the new gait is not the same as the current gait. So I'll copy the input and get it as a local variable, and we're going to check if the new gait is not equal to the current character gait. If it's not, then we want to set the gait. Firstly, we want to set the past gait as the current gait, so we can always store the value of our past gait, and then we want to set our current gait. And the current gait will be our new gait, which is the input of the function. Now all we need to do is update our maximum walk speed, so we can drag in the character movement component and search for set max walk speed. So I'll copy the input because we will need one for the crouching speed as well. So I'll select this and drag off and select set max walk speed crouched as well. This is rather simple. Let me think a bit. Basically, if our current gait is equal to crouching or not. So if it is equal to, alright, so we didn't add that. Let's add that now. So enums, character gaits, walk, run, and this will be our crouch, walking. So I'll just call it crouch. So if it's equal to crouch, I'll straighten this. Then we want to set our max walk speed crouched. Now we can save some variables, so we can always access this. And that's your choice. I'm not going to. So for the max walk speed crouch, let's do 200. Just because I understand how Unreal Engine works and how it feels, this would work for me, and this would work for you as well. If crouching is false, which means we are standing, then we want to set our maximum walk speed based on the character gait. So I'll run a select, and the index will be our current character gait. So if we are running, then I'll give it a value of 500. For walking, I'll do 250. And for crouching, we don't need to set this here because we're updating the crouch speed up here. If it's none, then the value would be 0. So I'm going to add the event begin play, and I'm going to drag in set new gait. But we don't need this for the master character. We'll need this for our player. So let's browse to that folder, open up the player character in the event graph, and call the event begin play. And since this is a child of the master character, all you need to do is call set new gait and change the input to be whatever you want it to be. For me, I'm going to choose walking as my default. Now, if I hit play, it should work. Right, so as you can see, I'm walking a lot slower. Let me close this and let's debug this to ensure that this is actually working. So head to the player character. I'm going to call the event tick. This is just for debugging only. And I want to get my current character gait. And let's also get the past character gait. And I'm going to run a print string. Since this is running on event tick, I'll set the duration to be 0. So it doesn't, create a whole bunch of prints running down my screen. I'll connect this right here. And let's see how our character gait operates. So it's walking right now. And as you know, our default value is none. So this means that this is being set properly. And we can check if we switch this to be running. You can see it now starts at run. And the speed is a lot faster. So now, what about our pass gait? Is this being set and why should we use it? Let's disconnect this here and make sure our pass gait is being checked. So our pass gait is none, which is our initial gait. And when we switch from, let's say, walking to running, our pass gait will now be walk, while our current gait is run, and so forth. I can delete this now. And I need to add a function to our interface within our core files to access our master character. Add the return node of type BP master character. Call this return value, compile and save, and in our master character here, I'll just open up the function and get a reference to self. Great. So let's head over to the controller. And we'll add an input action to toggle between walking and running. And we'll need to add an input action for that. So let's head to actions, right click, input, and select a new input action. I'll call this IA_run. Right. So by default, if we're walking and we hold shift, then we want to run, and we release shift, we want it to walk. So I'll show you two ways on how to do this in case you want yours to be a toggle and not a hold. So I'm going to open up the IA run here. We're going to leave everything as is, close. And in the context, we're going to add our IA run to this. And I'm going to select my shift key. In here, I'm going to search for IA_run. And one more thing, we need to open up our function library and add a getter function so that we can get our master character. We are going to call access master character. And let's get, we can, let's see, how should I do this? Yeah, we can use get player character. So in this instance, what I'll do is add an input of type object. So I'll just drag this here, and this will be the target in case we need it. And we'll do an is valid check. And then I'll run a selection, select object, and connect the is valid right here. So if the target input is valid, then we'll just use the target input as the target for our access master character function. If it's not valid, then we can just use the get player character. Now this is just in case we are creating a system that requires a target other than the player character that needs to access data from the master character. I'll drag the return node to the output and make this function pure. Back in the RPG controller, we can now get the master character. And we don't need a target in this case because we are actually trying to access some data for the player character. We can just call set. What's happening? I guess I have some driver updates to do. So let's set the new gate. And right now for the hold option, we can just run this off of triggered. We can do, if we are holding this down, then run. And you can even do it off of started. Doesn't really matter. Started might be the best option actually. And we can just duplicate this and connect this to cancelled and completed. And when we release, we go back to walking. So I can, right, so right now it's currently set to run. So we can change this in our player character. So walk, if I hold shift, we can now run, and when I release, he goes back to walking. So what if you want to toggle instead of constantly holding the input? We can do this by, let's just break these pins, and I'll duplicate this function right here. So now we can get the master character, and we can check if our current character gate is actually run. So we're going to check if it's equal to run. And we can connect this off of the started pin. And actually you don't even need this branch. We can just connect this directly to started and run a selection. And the index for this selection would be this boolean, so we can change the pins. I'm just going to straighten this out, bring it down a bit. Right, so if it's equal to run is true, then we want to set it to walk, and if it's not run, then we run. And it's asking for a target, which would come from the master character. Right, so now we can toggle instead of holding. So if I hit shift, I can run. If I hit it again, I can walk. And actually, I prefer the toggle in this case, at least for this type of game that I'm trying to create. So I'll leave this as a toggle. I'm going to delete this from the graph, and I can just collapse this to a function called toggle gate. I'll make this private and placed in the private category. Great. Now that we can crouch, walk, run, jump, all of that good stuff, and we can now look around. It's really smooth with the camera lag and camera rotation lag. All we need to do is jump into more the nitty-gritty of the code and create a lot more heavy functionality. So this beginner part of the course is basically completed, and now let's get the fun stuff done. I'll see you in the next episode.